Alright, I've never had a problem really communicating with others, but that was until I got to Hungary and I realized that there was going to be a lot of trouble communicating with people in the most difficult language I'd ever tried to learn, which was Hungarian. So my first day there, I had a lot of different experiences while I was in Hungary, and that's what I wanted to talk about. I just want to talk about a few experiences I had. And my first day there, I got with a companion who knew the language very well, and as I was going to the city I would be serving in, I found out that I would be teaching an English class that same day. I had only been in the country for one day, and I would be teaching Hungarians English. And so I was extremely nervous, and I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what my companion was thinking. Why would he have me teach English to Hungarians when I barely even know Hungarian? And so I was just trying to figure out what in the world I would be teaching them, because I hadn't even come up with a lesson plan or anything. He just kind of threw me under the bus with this one. So we got there, and I had a little time to prepare, but we got into the class, and he kind of opened the class for me. He introduced himself, and all of this was in Hungarian, so I was just kind of standing to the side, looking at him, looking around, smiling, just kind of nodding when he nodded, and just going with what he was doing. And I didn't know much of what had been said. I understood his name, and then I understood my name, and that was about it. And then I continued with my lesson, and it went pretty well since they spoke better English than I spoke Hungarian, so they tried to help me out as much as they could. But whenever they started going off in Hungarian, I was just completely lost. It was game over for me at that point. And I would look at them, they'd look back at me, and they'd kind of do this, and I would go like, yeah. And so we agreed in that manner, but I don't know if we got anything accomplished that way. So English class was definitely, it was fun, and I enjoyed it, but communication was definitely hard at the beginning. And then the next day, there was a few other experiences I had as well. One of which was I had to introduce myself in church that week. And that was bothering me ever since I got there, since I just couldn't speak the language yet. I didn't know how I was going to introduce myself to a bunch of people that I didn't know. I was extremely nervous, speaking a different language I wasn't really comfortable with. But I went through with it. I got to church. I kind of had my companion help me out a little bit to prepare something. I didn't have any notes or anything. I just tried to remember what I was going to say. And I got up there, and I froze for about 3 seconds. I didn't know if anything was going to come to mind. But eventually I was able to say a few things and introduce myself, and everyone in the audience was smiling back, so I guess something came out right. But I was able to accomplish that. And there, afterwards, I was also able to meet with a few families, which was really fun, in the fact that most of the communication we had was through our facial expressions, and a lot of smiling went on. We were able to really express ourselves, be able to establish a line of communication through smiling. And so, in conclusion, with all these experiences, I learned that this was really beneficial to helping me communicate and to learn how to communicate in different ways. And I learned that probably the best way to communicate sometimes is simply by smiling. Thank you very much. Yay!